This podcast is brought to you by India Knowledge at Wharton. Please visit knowledge.wharton.upenn.edu/India for more information.
India Imagine was the theme of the 2008 Wharton India Economic Forum that was held in Philadelphia recently. The day-long event attracted several leaders including APJ Abdul Kalam, former president of India, as well as CEOs of Indian companies, nonprofit groups, consulting, and private equity firms. India Knowledge at Wharton brings you one-on-one conversations with these leaders.
Today we are honored to have the former President of India, President APJ Abdul Kalam, to speak with us. President Kalam, thank you so much for joining us today.
I am happy to be with Wharton, yes.
Since our publication is called Knowledge at Wharton, I wonder if you could tell us something about knowledge.
Well, I designed a four-line poem-like thing called creativity. I would have made at least million children to repeat it, okay? Million children repeat, I will say, and they will repeat it. So I am going to say a few words about creativity. Learning gives creativity. Creativity leads to thinking. Thinking provides knowledge. Knowledge makes you great. So I'm very happy. Wharton, you are thinking of knowledge at Wharton. It's a beautiful idea. My greetings to all of you.
I wonder if you could start by talking about your past. You were born in Rameshwaram in 1931. What are the biggest differences you see between India as it was then and India today?
Well, I have orbited around the sun 76 times. You know what it means?
You're 76 years old.
Correctly you said it. So, in that 76 period, I have seen, and when I was a young boy, the Second World War coming into an end. And then I saw the effect of war and injuries, healing. I saw India attaining the freedom 1915 when I was a schoolboy. I saw 1947. August 15, 1947, India achieving its freedom. It was a great, happy moment. I have seen the economic ascent phase in India in 1991, 92. Ascent phase started. Till then we had a lot of difficulties. I have worked with visionaries like Professor Vikram Sarabhai and Satish Dhawan, Dr. Brahm Prakash. I have seen a green revolution. I have seen white revolution, I have seen telecom revolution, and growth of ICT, that is information communication technology. And I was involved in India's space program. It is one of our most successful program in the country. And self-sufficiency in the strategic weaponry.
You just spoke about your involvement with India's rocket program. In fact, I know that you were also very involved with India's missile program and that you earned the nickname the Missile Man of India. Could you please tell us about that experience and what were the main lessons you learned?
Well, it is like this. I worked to Indian Space Research Organization for about 20 years. There only we achieved putting a satellite in the orbit, building a four-stage rocket system. Then I took up the integrated guided missile program with my team. I means the team. And youthful teams fortunately were my team members. And they have worked together. And we have great value addition because the youth power and the program, particularly such a strategic missile program, succeeded. And the most important area is human resource development. So the program are in safe hands now. I learned one of the important thing in these programs, both space program, missile program, we should know how to handle not only how to handle the success, how to handle the failures. Particularly you are in the management environment, Wharton. I want the young people to understand how to manage the failure. Because any task you do, you have to come across problem. Problem should not become the captain of the individual or the project chief. And the project chief should become the captain of the problems and defeat the problem and succeed. So this is what I have learned.
You played a key role in India's nuclear program in 1998. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, the main lesson I learned was how multiple technical teams and multiple departments of government of India could work together with the industrial partnership. That is one unique thing. How many people many teams can work together, get things done as a national need. This is it's a big experience I gained.
You are known to be a deeply spiritual person. Have you ever felt guilty or conflicted about developing nuclear weapons? Why or why not?
I realized that for my country's development, peace is essential. Peace comes out of strength. Strength respects the strength. Peace, that is how weaponized missiles were born. So the only strength you need, minimum strength to keep the nation peaceful, and so that you can enter into the necessary developmental missions. That's how I look at it.
How did you come to become India's president? What leadership qualities do you think are needed to lead a country that is so huge, so complex, and so chaotic?
Well, I won't say chaotic. The type of order comes out of disorder, okay? This is what's happening now. I was elected as a president of India 2002-2007 through a well-structured election process. Now, the leader, not only to become the president, you need to give any political leadership or technological leadership. You have to have 6 traits one leader should have. And what are the 6 traits? Number 1, leader must have a vision. Without a vision, he will not be a leader, he or she. So leader must have a vision. The second one, leader must be able to travel into an unexplored path. Normally tendency to travel the, well laid out path. But the leader, he takes a path of untraveled path. Third thing, leader must know how to manage success, most importantly the failure. Any mission he does or she does, so he has to go through some failure. They should know how to manage the failures.
Could you give us an example from your own experience about managing failure?
Well, my own experience like this, 1973, I became the project director for satellite launch vehicle program, SLV-3. It is called, to put a Rohini satellite in the orbit by 1980. When the management structure I was given, money I was given, and then human power I was given, only they said by 1980, you must put the satellite in the orbit, making a rocket. So thousands of people worked for that, say a scientific technical team. So when the time came, 1979, I think it's in August, we launched, I was in the mission director, project director. I was the control center. I was the mission director. We handed over to the computer to do the process of checking the launch vehicle T minus 4 minutes and launch it. After 1 minute in the computer, checkered computer put a hold. For some reasons, they said a display was there. It said some component is not doing well, control component. My experts told me, I have always behind me 4 or 5 experts will be there. And they quickly calculated in computer. They told me, don't worry, there is a lot of reserve fuel is there. We will succeed. So I bypassed the computer. I went on manual, launched the rocket system. Okay, and it's a 4-stage rocket system. First stage worked beautifully. As soon as the second stage separated, it got into trouble. Instead of satellite going the orbit, the whole rocket system went into Bay of Bengal. Okay, so it was a big failure. So that day, Indian Space Research Organization Chief, Professor Satish Dhawan, there's a press conference. 7 o'clock we launched. 7:45 there's a press conference. The whole world press is there in Sririkota at launch base. So I still remember the chairman of the organization, the leader of the organization, taking the press conference. I was by his side. He said, we have failed. First time we tried to attempted, and this failure really makes us to believe we have to give more technological support my team, and they worked very hard. Definitely in a year they will succeed. So I was a mission director, I was a project director. I am responsible for the failure. And he took the responsibility of failure as a chairman of the organization and the leader of the organization. Next year, 1980, July, we succeeded. The whole nation was jubilant. There was a press conference. Professor Satish Dhawan told me, you go and take the press conference. Okay? The message is, when the failure occurred, the leader of the organization owned the leader failure. When the success came, he gave to his team. That the best management principle I have not learned previously. Any books have not taught me. I learned from that experience. Okay?
That's a beautiful story. Thank you very much for sharing that.
Next one, 4th point, leader must have a courage to take decision. That's our problem today throughout the world. Leader must have a courage to take decision. 5th one, leader should have a nobility in management. I mean, nobility in management, a big question mark. So I believe leader should have a nobility in management. Every action of the leader should be transparent. You know what I mean? Leader should work with integrity and succeed with integrity. Leader should work with integrity and succeed with integrity. And I believe president, since you asked the question, has to be continuously in touch with the people. Rashtrapati Bhavan, where I was there, became a People's Bhavan. Instead of Rashtrapati Bhavan, it becomes People's Bhavan. And also I travel into the whole state, cutting across hill, deserts and sea. I was in touch with millions and millions of people.
You had a vision for India in 2020. It was that gradually the differences between the countryside and the cities would disappear. Could you please explain your concept of the Pura and how that leads to this transformation?
I'm glad you have studied my website, and I have explained the Pura concept in the keynote address. I'm going to do it today. Briefly, Pura is about giving a cluster of villages physical, electronic and knowledge connectivity so that the economic connectivity can emerge. We planned about 7,000 Puras for the whole nations, and it called Hill Pura, Coastal Pura, and Plainpura. And we believe this system, the Pura system, will bring the economic connectivity. That means employment generation potential increases. And I believe through Pura we are saying, and employment generation capacity, empowering the people for employment is indeed very vital in the rural environment so that prosperity will emerge.
You have spoken about the need for India to become energy independent by the year 2030. How would that happen?
Today all our fossil fuel dominating the energy sector throughout the world. The World Energy Forum predicts another 5 to 8 decades the fossil fuel will vanish because it is not renewable. So I have given to my country what is called energy independence. It's a three-dimensional approach. Number one, you go for solar power. Now solar power with solar cell efficiency today 15-20% is not economical. So I have suggested we should go for a CNT, carbon nanotube composite combination. That efficiency will go up, the solar cell efficiency will go up in the CNT background to 45 to 55%. Many of the research institutions are busy. In 3 to 5 years' time is going to come. So first is solar power source. Second is in nuclear power. Since we have got a abundant thorium-based nuclear reactors, definitely is one of the clean solution for the second area. Third area, the biofuel. Biofuel, one is ethanol route, another is biodiesel, jetafar route. This combination, all the three, definitely will give a freedom from the fossil fuel, and also it going to have an environment, clean environment, because by fossil fuel the cars what you drive here in Wharton, what you drive in Philadelphia, what we drive in India, what we drive in New York, what we drive in London, all 30 billion tons of carbon dioxide we are pumping. So to come out of that, energy independence.
Technology plays an important role in your vision for India's future. How do social grids help make India a developed country?
So what I believe is called societal grid. Societal grid has got three grids. One is Pura grid, and the another is e-governance grid, another is health grid. The idea is that knowledge grid empowers the village citizens with skill and knowledge. Health grid brings the super specialty health care available in the city to the doorstep of the rural citizens. E-governance grid, another grid is called e-governance grid, brings transparent governance. Is very important, but transparent governance to the citizen. And also all these four grids, the economic, it will lead to economic growth and societal transformation, because communication in all areas are available.
During your years as India's president, what was the biggest leadership challenge you faced, and how did you overcome it?
Well, first time I had to return what is called Office of Profit Bill to the Parliament. For the reason I felt there was no transparent system of determining a post as an Office of Profit or not. So that is a major decision, because it's first time I happened to study that. I have to return it to the Parliament for reconsideration. It created its own dynamics in my country, but I felt I had done the right thing there.
If you could rewind and replay the years of your presidency, is there anything that you would do differently? Is there anything that you would have liked to do that you weren't able to?
Yeah, last year I came up with the idea after finishing my 4 years term, or 5th year term starting at that time, I felt I must completely power the Rashtrapati Bhavan with solar power. And for that, a big proposal also emerged. And but then it created a lot of environmental questions. Rashtrapati Bhavan is a very clean environment with a lot of trees, flowers, and biodiversity centers. So the environmental people, they raise a lot of questions. Before I answer, my term was over. So that's one of the requirements, that is Rashtrapati Bhavan should be a first home in the country electrified by solar power.
One last question. You are a gifted poet. Could you please recite some lines of your favorite poem for us?
I remember the favorite poem is The Vision. The Vision. I recited this poem in my parliament. So I will share with you. The poem goes like that. The name is The Vision. I climbed and climbed. Where is the peak, my lord? I climbed and climbed. Where is the peak, my lord? I plowed and plowed. Where is the knowledge treasure, my lord? I plowed and plowed. Where is the knowledge treasure, my lord? I sailed and sailed. Where is the island of peace, my lord? I sailed and sailed. Where is the island of peace, my lord? Almighty, bless my nation with vision and sweat resulting into happiness.
Thank you very much. It's been an honor speaking with you.
Thank you for all the beautiful questions. My greetings to Wharton.
For more information, please visit knowledge.wharton.upenn.edu/India.